What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. Today, I'm going to talk about Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Before I get started, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button. I talk about all sorts of geeky stuff on this channel, whether it's TV shows or movies or whatever. Just trying to grow my channel a little bit, so run down and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's talk about Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Every year, there's a handful of movies that come out that are special. They're movies that, whether it's a documentary or fiction or based on a true story or whatever, every year there's a handful of movies that come out where you're like, this is special. This has made me look at my life in a different light. This has made me learn something about myself. This has inspired me to be better. This has inspired me to work harder. This has inspired me to take risks. Whatever the case may be, these movies exist. Maybe it's a fictional story and it's inspired you to be more creative. Whatever the case may be, these movies exist. They inspire. They bring about thought. You know, they get you thinking about things. This is one of those movies. Superman is a special film because while you watch it, you learn that Christopher Reeve, the most heroic part of his life was not playing a superhero. The most heroic part of his life was being strong in the face of immeasurable odds. Being strong at a moment when you are at your weakest. That was what this movie showed me. So this movie goes through his whole life, right? We see him at Juilliard. We see him taking on some of his first roles in the stage world, and then we see him become Superman, and we see his star grow on the talk show circuit and all that stuff, and then we see the tragedy. We see him fall off that horse, and his life is forever changed. And when his life is forever changed, he talks about how he thought about just ending it. You know, if I have to live the rest of my life without being able to move from the neck down, maybe it's a life I don't want to live. I'm a man of faith. I've talked about that a lot on this channel. And I think sometimes bad things happen to people because some people are better equipped to do something special with those bad things. And this is a scenario where Christopher Reeve, something bad happened to him. Something that some people would consider to be worse than death happened to him. And he took that bad thing and turned it into a heroic moment where he was able to bring about positive change in the world. I loved the stuff in this movie when they talked about the relationship he had with Robin Williams. And while I knew they were friends, I didn't know they were as close as they were. You know, this documentary really showed just how close they were. And it became clear during the movie that if Christopher Reeve had survived, Robin Williams would have probably survived. And that just made it even more sadder, you know, but it also illustrates the impact that he has on people, right? He was able to bring happiness to people, even at a time when he wasn't able to move. I mean, it just blows my mind that some people can be at their lowest and yet have the charisma, have the intelligence, have the resources and impact, the stage, right? The platform for taking horrible things and turning them into great positives. And that's not even going into the research that was done that he was a part of that has since helped people walk, which is amazing in of itself. I'm just talking about the inspiration that he's been to the world. Christopher Reeve was my Superman. You know, I grew up watching Superman, Superman 2, Superman 3, you know, and I don't talk about Superman 4 much, but I do distinctly remember watching that movie in the theaters. My parents took me and my friend, and I was the turd of a kid who didn't want to sit with my parents, so we ended up sitting a couple rows in front of my parents because I was like, we're too cool. So I distinctly remember watching Superman 4 in the theaters. But he was my Superman. And growing up, you know, he was a big part of my life. He was on my TV a lot. We had one of those floor model TVs when I was growing up, right? He was always on it because I love those movies. And while I knew his impact, while I knew a lot of the good that he'd done in this world after his accident, I don't think it ever really resonated with me until it was packaged together in this movie. And when the credits rolled on this, I just felt inspired. I felt inspired. I was like, that man did more in a wheelchair than I've done my whole life. It inspired me to do more, right? To be better. Now, granted, he had money and a platform that I'll never have. And I try to do good. You know, I coach high school track at a Christian high school. I am the executive director of a nonprofit that helps kids. I try to put good into this world. But man, that dude did stuff in a wheelchair that I'll never be able to do. And it just inspired me. Like, what more good could I be putting into this world that I'm not putting in right now? Just a movie like that is important. It's impactful. And it worked. I thought it was really well done. So that's my take on Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.